Right, gents, Jack,
Ready to learn, Tom?
Henry, Gregor.
Hello,
We've got on a load of scientists today. I'm speaking to the audience, not you.
Okay.
We've got a load of scientists today, and we all know how I feel about science. I don't even like it.
Not any scientists. We got Henry and Gregor from Veritasium. Veritasium? How do you say it?
Veritasium.
I said it wrong. I've always said it wrong for years. This is already devastating.
Yeah, no,
I'm so stupid.
I'm incredibly
Hey,
I feel so stupid. to
Hey,
these guys.
please don't beat yourself up because it sets a bad precedent for our viewers who are young. We just did a load of push-ups because you were like, let's do some push-ups.
you said you wanted to,
I had a
ease
bit
it
of
out
energy in me, but
Yeah.
now I'm all depleted. Oh, we've got water on the tap. I'm so sorry. I'm making a fool of myself. At least for you.
Yeah, you can take a look though, man, if you want.
bollocks.
It's the same notes we have, Tom.
It's
but
all
they,
falling apart.
They pre-wrote some of their
Off to a
answers
great
because
start.
they're more on account of it being
I'm
science.
asking you today about proper science and that.
Yeah, and we're
Numbers
gonna-
and physics and...
Essentially, Tom seems to think that science is... and he
not you
kicked off
guys. You
about
guys are
this.
sick. We've had some
You
pints
kicked off
together
about
already.
this hugely in the last Patreon that we filmed like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You had a
I'm in
right
an
one.
anti-science day, which is
Interesting.
going to be... But you can convince me.
Okay,
And Henry likes Bruce Springsteen a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
Big
Easy
fan.
to let
So already he's a good guy. Gregor, you're cool too.
Yeah, I don't think I know a single Bruce Springsteen
Okay,
song.
all
Is
right.
Summer of '69 his song?
No, it's Brian Adams,
Oh, my bad, guys.
Canadian legend.
Pack it in,
Okay.
Gregor.
I think he's Canadian. I hope so.
Guys, we can't start the podcast until you say the classic line.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to tell you beforehand, as we always
It's the
do.
title of the podcast.
Yeah, if you just say it.
Just
it's
say
sort of in
Oh,
unison
yeah.
if you can. I don't know how synced up you guys are.
Okay, can we like trade words or no?
Yeah, you can.
you want.
You really
That
insist.
sounds
You want to do
hard.
one each?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to say something.
No, all right.
Hey,
yeah,
right,
and
we're just
and
talking.
shut.
Up. I'm talking.
Shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
But before we get started, this month Shut Up I'm Talking is supporting Calm, the campaign against living miserably, in their Stay Tuned campaign. Calm are a suicide prevention charity that we both feel very close to and we want to support in any way we can. And we also feel very strongly about making sure people know that Calm exists and how to use their resources. Their philosophy is that if we end living miserably, we end suicide. So they have resources for everyone, from just people having a bad day to people that are really struggling. And of course, these aren't free to run. They rely on your donations to keep all these services afloat. They estimate that it costs around £12.20 to facilitate one of their potentially life-saving calls on their mental health support line. So if you can donate that amount, you may be responsible for saving a life, which is a great thing. But even if you can't give that much, it all adds up and it all helps them keep themselves afloat. So if you go down to the Tiltify link in the description, then you can give anything that you can afford. And it will be greatly appreciated by both us and Calm. And of course, because we want to do our bit, we don't want to leave you empty-handed. The whole month we've been running different polls that you guys can donate towards to make different things happen on the podcast. For example, you guys are already voting on which animal we get next to join the worm, what it will be called, and which one of us has to wear a stupid t-shirt in a future episode. But today, we're raising those stakes. There's a poll live on the Tiltify right now where you guys can vote on which one of us has to wear drag in a future episode. Just gonna say right now, I've done it plenty of times before. I feel like it's Tom's turn. But, again, I mean, who am I? Go give some money to charity and play around with our podcast.
Also, yeah, a big announcement from us. We are doing our first live show. One night only. We're bringing this energy in person
To the stage.
To the
Live
stage.
podcast.
to the big screen, the stage.
The big stage. It's not a screen.
It's at the Old Market Theatre in Brighton on the 23rd of October. And the tickets, yeah, have just gone on sale. We're keeping it small for our first live show, so act fast. These tickets will be gone quickly.
So they could be gone right now. You should check. They're going to sell very quick. We're very popular.
All right, okay, let's rein it in a bit. I genuinely can't wait to look you all in the eyes as I tell you the excruciating details of my bladder. There's a link to the tickets in the description of this episode. Thank you so much and enjoy it.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, I'm talking. Shut up, I'm talking. Shut up.
It's good.
Yeah, have you heard that?
I liked it a lot.
Wow, that was
I liked
excellent.
it. I really liked it.
Oh, well done, gentlemen.
Wow, fair
Wow.
enough.
Well, lads, you may be sciencey guys, but you still have lives outside of that. What's your worst of the week?
That's good. You're a good host.
Innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we start with that, tell us a bit about Veritasium.
Correct.
Tell us.
I mean, you've watched
oh,
an
yeah,
episode,
sorry,
right?
yeah.
I know loads. It's for the audience, just in case they're unfamiliar.
I don't know tons.
We have stupid viewers, so they might not have seen your channel.
Yeah.
Tom, have you seen an episode? No.
He would not click on any video that says like, how do batteries work? He'd be like, don't care. Just scroll back.
I don't care.
So anyway, if you want to...
Good on you, though. Good on you, lads, for following your heart.
Yeah, thank you. No, I feel very validated in this
But
space.
if you want to tell, before we do your worst moment, you want to tell everyone what Veritasium is in case they're unfamiliar.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we have a little pitch. It's a science YouTube channel where we look at stuff that we find interesting, mixed in some history. Yeah.
Yeah, no, so I think you'll find a lot of things that you'd like in Veritasium videos because it's,
Really?
you know, we get history involved. In
I
it.
love history.
Yeah, and I mean, we're making films at the end of the day that are trying to get people interested in science.
They're very good. They're one of the only... I watch like 3 channels consistently, and it's you guys, basically homeless, and that was actually it. I said 3 and I was lying. There was 2.
So they're sort of like sciencey history videos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we kind of can follow whatever we find interesting, but they tend to be...
That's excellent.
Yeah, so it tends to be explanations.
What are some of your recent videos?
Ooh, I mean, I'm working on one right now that I'm really, really excited about. It's going to come out probably around when this podcast is coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's about Alfred Nobel. Do you know,
Oh, yeah.
the name might sound boring to you.
He invented dynamite and he created the Nobel Prize.
Yes.
You told me this last night over a pint.
Exactly.
So
Well,
that's
you did not know you made dynamite yesterday.
I knew that. I was proud of myself for knowing that as well. But you got it
And
before me.
You two independently are quite scientific fellas. Do you have quite, what's it called, a CV?
Yeah.
Like a credits.
What he's saying is, what did you guys do before you were doing Veritasium?
Sure. Yeah. No, I'm a mechanical engineer and I specialize in like robotics engineering. So I'm a little less sciencey in that way. I just like kind of building stuff. And then
Yeah, I do physics and space, sort of like astronomy stuff with its
Astrophysics, it's called.
Astrophysics,
Yeah.
yeah. Specialized in kind of black holes and light from black holes, but I can't really call it a specialization.
Big Stephen Hawking guy? That was his thing.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
I'm not.
he's a great impression.
Oh my God, no.
I'm not playing.
Fuck it. Have I ever done a Stephen Hawking? That sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, it does sound terrible.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally making
No, thank
that
you.
up.
What's your worst moment of the week, Henry?
But please tell us now.
Oh, great. Okay. So I think this started probably a week and a half, but then it bled into this week.
Okay.
And the story is that I recently moved to Spain, to Valencia.
I know this.
So it was about 6 months ago. And actually, Gregor and he moved in recently as well.
We're living together.
Yeah. So
That's beautiful. I'm proud of you.
Doesn't
guys.
always work out, lads.
Congratulations.
I'll tell you from experience.
no, did you?
Been great so far.
Yeah, no, it's been good. But anyway, near Valencia, there's this.
Rub it in.
I used to say that.
What was this?
Just because I used to live with a friend, but
Can we get into this?
no, it's not science. It's it's feeling. It's real.
Yeah.
He kicked his mate out and now he's sad about it.
Oh, tough.
Because he left with my other mate.
He kicked one. There was 3 friends in the house. He kicked one out, and the other one went with him. And now he's like, "Wait, I've got no friends."
Interesting. Did you actually kick him out? It was like an eviction.
Well, that's
You
it.
asked him to leave. That isn't.
He's saying it as a very harsh way. If he'd have said, "I really want to stay," I would have gone, "That's cool."
you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. No,
Yeah,
no,
you're
never
trying to
would have.
sound chill as hell.
But he makes it sound worse than it is. It's a middle ground
They're still
between.
friends.
Okay,
Yeah, still
cool.
mate, still good mate, great mates.
But
Best
anyway,
mates.
so yeah, you 2 are living together. You moved to Valencia.
Yes, and then last week, or I guess a week and a half ago, there was this festival that they do near Valencia in this town called Buñol, which is this mountain town where like 25,000 people descend on this small town, and they ship in 120,000 kilos of tomatoes into the street.
Okay.
And then you just get into this big food fight with tomatoes in the
Oh,
street
no way.
with 25,000 other people.
Sweet.
So it's crazy.
That'd be my.
This sounds
as
fun.
well.
It was kind of it's fun. I was like, it was a very singular experience. I don't know if I want to do it at any time ever again. It's like you're freezing out there because they have these water cannons that they're kind of hitting you with to like get people hyped up, and then
Interesting.
then you're tossing tomatoes, and some of them are green, so you kind of just occasionally get just like smacked with an
Oh, it's just firm.
Yeah.
It's just proper firm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
exactly. And at some point there was some pepper spray in the mix, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, that was really bad. Because I was like, there's no way they're gonna be able to handle if like the crowd goes off the rails. So
Oh, and that's how. Oh, fucking hell.
all to say though, this was a great experience. Ultimately, nothing I'll ever do again, but like a pretty wild time. But then, so I had a good time. But then 2 days afterwards, me and then the 2 other guys who were in our house as well, our other roommates,
Yeah.
we all came down with this like brutal like food poisoning kind of thing, or like little virus. I don't really know what was going on, but all the guys who went there got it. So we called it the tomato virus. Is ultimately
You got the tomato.
the tomato virus. Yeah,
Yeah, tomato virus.
That's because you were mucking about.
yeah. I mean, I imagine something came around him.
Oh yeah, King serious over here. It's like, whoa, you should be mucking about, man.
No,
dude.
don't have fun, you know. But yeah, I think maybe I ingested some,
That's all.
Straight
that's-
tomato.
Yeah.
Straight green tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gregor, what about you?
I missed that whole thing. I missed that whole festival.
Good.
I was working.
Good.
And
Oh,
then-
that's your worst moment, is that you didn't get to go.
No, but I got the worst bit of it. So they actually gave me the tomato virus.
Oh,
so yeah,
Gregor.
I
I
was
know.
crunching.
He was
No,
I was crunching. I was just about to finish a video, and then I was crawling in my bed for like hours to try
that
and
breaks
recover.
my heart.
Yeah. But that wasn't even the worst moment. So I got the video out on Sunday, last Sunday. I was super happy about that. Detoxed, left, went camping, turned off my phone. And the video is about this big company that did some bad stuff for like farmers.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to separate myself from YouTube Studio, looking at the analytics and everything. So I was relaxing by this beautiful river, and I glanced at my phone, and somehow an email got through that we're like getting a threat to be sued by this company, for, like cease and desist for the video, and that just like sent me down a spiral. So the whole detox was.
Has anyone
was
ever threatened to sue you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I absolutely can't talk about it.
We won't go any further. Fair enough.
But I'm not. Genuinely tried so hard to. I get your pain because it will throw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it threw me a bit.
Yeah.
But I was like 16, so I didn't.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I do know about this.
I
I
just
just remembered what it was. Yeah,
I just went parking.
you were, in fairness, in the wrong.
Every time I've been threatened to be sued, I've been very.
No.
What he did was wrong. That's why
Every time I've been sued, it was wrong of me.
it was your fault.
And I've always gone, oh, my bad, and changed.
Yeah. you did just get told off, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Professional.
science.
Yeah.
I'm sorry though, man.
No, it turned out it was a scam. So it was a prank. I don't know why they did
So
it.
you got
but-
pranked, but you got spun out.
Yeah, I got spun out for a couple of
That's
hours.
horrible.
So whoever did it,
Well,
Yeah.
if you ever get spun out again, ring me
yeah, we can talk about
or
it.
watch one of my square videos and it'll comfort you.
Let me refer you to my catalogue.
To know you're not in it alone.
Yeah, that helps.
Do you want to ask the science question now?
I want to ask science.
Almost all of these questions are yours.
I just
I'm
wanted
actually-
to say to the
I'm-
audience,
I'm a bit clued in.
I'm usually not this cheeky with guests, but we've had a great night of getting to know each other, so I'm very comfortable to I just feel like I might be being over cheeky.
We're comfortable.
Yeah, we're
my social skills of Tommy, it's fine. Should we get on with the science?
Right, I've got a ton of questions for you lads, right? Because I don't like it, science. All right, this is my first question. Science is more boring than history or English. Prove me wrong.
That's it.
Yeah, because I just find it well boring.
I think it's a tough one, but
Is it?
I feel like if you watched one of our videos, you'd see that there's a lot of good history that goes into science that
correct,
actually
the
makes it
marketing.
interesting.
Yeah, right? He refers you to his catalog.
Maybe watch a video and see what you think.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good science behind. Sorry, but good history why people do science, and
Yeah, I think it's the
they
way
go together.
So you guys genuinely, honestly, and you can come clean if this is the truth. You genuinely enjoy science.
Genuinely.
Really?
you're like dork.
But what is it you enjoy about it?
I think, okay, when you're asking about history and English, I'm like, both of those have places in learning about science. Because I think to understand science, from the ground up, everybody started at the same spot. Like no one understood, magnets or something. It's like, who understood magnets?
Magnets are sick.
Super sick.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we all started.
We're slowly winning him over.
Yeah, right.
Getting one over by little Tommy. I kept doing this on the last episode. He did this, and I kept going, "Yeah, but like, what about like electricity?" He's like, "Yeah, electricity, like lightning's cool."
Yeah.
Lightning's sick. I'll give 2 science, 1 me.
Anyway, sorry, carry on. Yeah,
But anyways, you start with any topic that you're kind of interested in, but feels too grand to understand. Like stuff like how the hell does my phone work, right? You're like, well, everybody started out from a place of knowing nothing. And then there've been little advancements that have happened over history where like that helps you understand the thing today. So I think it ties together intimately.
Sure.
To understand today, you understand all the things that have happened up till now. And you build up your understanding that way. And there's also just like a natural story to that. So it feels like this story where everyone keeps on encountering a problem and then overcoming it, and then our knowledge increases.
to sing their praises on the videos, like they're very like narrative.
I imagine I'd enjoy the video. I'll check out the videos. I'm just a bit of a skeptic.
Well, do you think that's
Skeptical of science.
Okay, this leads me to my next question, right?
Okay, we'll just move on.
No, because I think we'll loop back to all of these because I have more specific questions.
We saw it. Yeah.
You're reading my questions. Right. My science teacher once told me, right, in year 9, that we didn't know about the periodic table, and then we did, and then it changed everything and we had to reset science. So like, could we just find one more thing and then it's all an error? Because like, I mean, and at that point, my question leads into my next question. Could it all be wrong? If so, why are we putting so much time into it then?
Yeah. That's tough. I mean,
Checkmate.
there certainly have been times after the periodic table, I think, you correct me, where we've been wrong and kind of found out, okay, you know, we're not really understanding stuff like on the atomic level, and there was the Einstein whole bit with, you know, general relativity and how time works and stuff like that. So we're constantly like being
Time's not real.
Yeah.
It's relative. It doesn't exist.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I can see a clock over there, mate. What do you mean?
Checkmate.
That's a point for you.
Yeah. You sat next to him, bloody me. How's time not real then? Because I watched Interstellar the other day.
Yes.
He stays the same age.
Yeah, well, kind of. All right, so you're sort of getting there.
So if you go further out into space, you de-age.
Well, no, it's not like a proximity thing. It's how close you're getting to the speed of light.
or gravity
In terms of speed. Yeah,
What,
so
lad?
the thing was he
Well,
was
gravity as well.
going so or gravity, which is also bending space-time continuum. I feel like okay, we're going to touch on something that might
No,
be a
go
little
for
too.
it. I can hack it,
I kind of want to ask you a question.
please.
I'll address what you're saying, like, can we, break down all of science with one thing that's wrong? But more so, like, did you have a kind of bad experience learning science in school? Like, did you not really?
Yeah, I was in second set and all my mates were in first set.
That was your bad experience. You just weren't with your mates.
Yeah.
But did you find that, like, it was just boring or whatever, the way they taught it?
They're so accepting of the bullshit you're saying. And it's
No, I get that.
I just didn't, I didn't love it.
Well, I think part of that is that, like, the way that you're taught science in general is kind of like, let's shove as many facts down your head as possible. Whereas there is a way to learn about it that feels, like a story, or like there's a reason for what we're learning. Yeah, so I did engineering, and I like that because I was just thinking of math and science as tools for making stuff that I wanted to make, Like I want to make a video game, I have to know a lot of math to actually be able to make my graphics look good, So in that case, I think if you were taught in that way, maybe you'd have more of an appreciation for it because you love video games.
I love them.
Yeah, but like all of that, how do you map a texture to a 3D object? That's like an algorithm, right?
Sure.
We take an image and then you wrap it around a sphere and then suddenly it looks like, a thing in 3D space. Or like how do you get the light to bounce off and like ray trace? Like that's all math, Which I know it sounds like kind of boring, but if you had to solve that problem yourself, you had to make a game that was beautiful, you would spend that day being like, okay, I'm going to find how to map this 2D thing on a 3D thing, and you'd find it, I think,
all right,
more interesting.
You're winning me.
You see what I'm saying?
All right, I'm getting it. Video games are good.
I don't think we really answered your question there, though, about like...
Could it all be wrong?
Yeah, that idea. I think...
Does that not demotivate you? Because if I knew I was doing everything wrong, I'd feel silly.
Well, I don't think one thing wrong, destroys the entire foundation that's been built,
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I think there's a way to, when you learn something... I mean, whenever you learn something that you're doing that's wrong, I think it probably like makes you grow more, right?
True.
Also, I think fundamentally, just to weigh in, when you said we didn't just find, so it wasn't as simple as we didn't know about the periodic table and then we found it. It wasn't like we found it buried underground and we went, oh fucking hell, that's been here the whole time. Like we slowly
created
discovered different elements. Like there was a whole.
For example, the Minecraft mod videos wouldn't have happened without Skyblock and the Dream SMP leading it towards it. And the vlogs even wouldn't have happened.
Sure. Yeah, we can look at it this way. Yeah.
Even the Square videos wouldn't have happened.
Oh, the lawsuit videos, is that it?
No, the lawsuit. No. I've never. No.
No.
There was no video published ever.
But yeah, I guess just the idea of the scientific method is that everything can be disproven. And I think that's what makes it...
That's exciting. So
Yeah.
you're always going around playing devil's advocate.
Exactly. And
That's what's, yeah.
You said you're skeptical of science, but I feel like science as a whole is just being skeptical of everything, kind of, right?
Yeah.
And also, what a joy to be able to tell everyone they're wrong if you're the one to find out everything is wrong, right?
That is actually, you know what, that is sick.
Yeah.
How do we know about atoms? Because they're so little. Like, how did you even discover
Actually,
that the first time?
did a video on atoms in January. We took pictures. Like you can take a picture of an atom with electrons. So you use stuff that's even smaller than an atom, then you take a picture. So we have...
You know there was stuff smaller than atoms?
So atoms are everything.
Everything
Totally.
is well, not everything. Everything that's physical, like that you can touch.
Not like
Yeah.
spirits. and
like
stuff.
no, well, sure, but I more meant light. Like light isn't atoms.
What's light?
Light is
It's like a photon, a different
photon.
particle.
Thank you.
A photon, and what's that?
It's like a massless particle.
So a particle with no weight.
Yeah. No mass.
No.
Mass and weight aren't the same, though.
No.
Yeah. But they're similar. It's all about, whether something's under gravity or not.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so what's this about time?
Oh.
This is tough. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. I think the big discovery was,
I am trying, by the way.
yeah.
No, but I can tell.
I feel like I'm going to say this from memory, but, don't quote me on everything. This is I forgot some of the stuff.
Don't worry.
But I think the big deal was we figured out that not everyone would experience time the same way, right? So your time could go faster for you if you're moving faster, closer to the speed of light.
What does that mean then?
It's just like the way you perceive time is faster if you're moving closer to the speed of light. Why that is, I don't actually remember.
That.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I get.
You get isn't it that you also get like a bit of a Doppler effect because of relativity? If something's moving very fast away from you, then time is extended and it condenses if it's going towards you. I just don't see, because I get about time zones, right? But like how... What?
Similar
what?
concept.
How is that? What are you laughing for? Well, like it's a different time over there. Why are you laughing?
Not the same thing.
Because we have New Year's. Like I'm going to be in America for New Year's, so you're like,
Tom, this isn't the same thing. This isn't the same thing.
But I'm going to have. You'll have New Year's 6 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, but that's not because I'm experiencing time quicker. It's just because of where the sun is.
But we have actually had this happen. People who are in space, in the International Space Station, they have a lesser pull by gravity. So I think they age just a tiny bit faster. So astronauts...
I thought Interstellar, when they go far out into space, they age slower.
Yeah, right. That's
well, I think it's the speed
no,
at which
age-
they're moving, though.
No, the guy who was further away from the black hole in Interstellar, he aged faster.
Oh, right.
No,
Yeah.
but if you're moving at near
Yeah.
relativistic speeds,
I'm now talking about gravity. I don't know. I think with light, it works the other way, right? The faster you go, the
I think
younger
you're
you are.
reaching. Yeah, I'm no physicist. I'm not sure.
Me neither, man.
Yeah.
So, so you go out in space and there's lights going quickly, and if you're what?
So if you're
we
pulled
could
by
get
gravity,
caught here for a while, Tom.
I know I need to know about if this
I don't think
time's
you
all
do.
wrong.
essentially, if
Okay.
you're less affected by gravity because you're further away from Earth, you age
Slightly
slower. So
That doesn't make any
you're a bit
sense,
younger.
though.
What's happening, right? Is
no, faster.
At what point is it magic?
This
Because this is.
this stuff feels like magic, though. I don't know.
But that's correct. Like, do you hear what you're saying? So if you're on the moon and jumping about because there's less
Gravity.
gravity.
You would age tiny bit faster.
I think the
No,
gravity
faster.
thing
No, you said
complicates-
slower.
No, yeah, I made a mistake. So
So it's all right. We
Age a bit
all
faster.
do make mistakes. But
Oh,
so,
okay.
but
milliseconds. Milliseconds. like a
how
year.
could I be alive for longer then if I went far out into space?
You're never going to be alive longer for yourself.
Yeah.
You're always going to be 70 in your perspective, but you can outlive other people.
How would that work then? How could I be older than my child's?
You're always
You
you're-
already know.
what kind of-
No, younger. How
Yeah,
could I
yeah.
be younger
Yeah,
than my children?
you give birth. You have a child, and then you go out in space, travel at the speed of light for a long time.
Yeah.
You come back, and your child's probably going to be older than you.
That's mental.
Yeah, so it's called the time traveler's paradox, and kind of the reason why it's
We
happening.
can't go back. We can't go back in time.
No.
Not to our knowledge.
So the
But
reason.
that's the mad thing, isn't it? Is we don't even know.
Well, yeah, we could figure out a way, but no one knows how.
And
currently.
is it people's jobs? Are my taxes going towards someone who's not taxes, made it to?
I think so.
Someone's job is to figure out time travel. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know necessarily if their job is like time travel to figure out, but
But
like,
to study time.
yeah, they study time for sure. It's like experiments in space, and
Yeah. So you appreciate that.
I do appreciate that, but only because it's crazy.
Yeah. But a lot of the science is crazy.
All right.
Yeah. Are you satisfied with time?
Yeah, because I could try to explain that a little bit more, but I think it would just
It's a
get
lot.
complicated.
I'd like to keep going into it in a bit.
Okay.
Oh, it's my turn now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a little more clued in on science, like a touch.
you did programming, right?
I did I studied computer science, physics, and maths at A level. So I was quite interested in physics. So I always it's fun. Anyway, but the stuff I don't know about is sort of a little bit more like biology based because I was never as interested for some reason. This is more neuroscience. But I was curious if there was any. So there's sort of like you can observe in life that certain people are like unpredictably or inexplicably, that's what I'm trying to say, better at predicting things than other people. Like they just get things right in an amount that is like statistically anomalous, and there's just people like that. Has there ever been studies into like those people and what like their brains? I'm intrigued by them. I just know some people that are like they'll say things and then those things will happen. I'm like, your ability to guess the future is strange, and I'm curious whether science has ever come up with like a bit of.
Is that
like
not manifesting?
No, it's like clairvoyance, was it? I put it down. Precognition. Yeah, like people who like seem to be able to predict the future, and I'm like, because I think it's observable that some people are like weirdly good at it.
How far removed are their predictions from themselves? Like what are they predicting?
That's a good question. Actually, I suppose I haven't thought about the specifics of that. But yeah,
yeah, because I mean, like there are different ways of thinking about that. If it's like something that's within their own life, maybe
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Sure, that makes sense.
Manifest it by predicting it.
Maybe, or that they can actually affect those things. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I know.
I think you're asking about bigger things.
For example, I know people that like they have this weird ability to like be like, I think someone's going to call soon, and they will. It's like weird. It's like it freaks me out. It's like a strange like I'm just so curious about like, and like there's people. Everyone has like a little story about someone who's just like weird.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I'm just like, have we ever like got a bunch of these people in a fucking room and studied them a bit? Has that happened? Do we know about this?
There have been studies into like, can you guess what's behind a wall, and then you kind of reveal and you see whether or not you've guessed, but at no point was there like statistical significance that someone could actually predict.
Okay.
Yeah, which kind of bums it, but
makes sense. No.
Yeah.
I just it's weird, man.
But there's a whole like trickery of the mind there. Like my mom took me to one of those like healer doctors, you know, that can sort of diagnose you by like hovering your hand.
Oh yeah.
And the reason we went is because an acquaintance of hers got diagnosed by this guy. He told him he had a disease in some part of the body, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor confirmed it. And that's
how are you doing that?
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable, right? And then
is it guessing?
My mom is, I mean, astounded by this, and obviously you should be. But then you got to think like, how many people will he have like misdiagnosed?
Of course,
who've never recommended anyone ever. So it's just kind of like a chance thing.
Well, yeah, it's this bias, kind of like where the people who it pans out for, you know, are going to sing in their praises a lot.
Sure, right.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. You and also probably in the case of like my thing with the phone calls, like you remember all the times that they say it and they're right, and you don't really remember all the times they say it and it doesn't happen. It probably is a lot of that. But I'm fascinated by it. I do have a slight suspicion some people have like a bit of something going on. I don't know what it is. There's just this.
You're a bit supernatural though, aren't you?
It seems strange to me that in every culture and everywhere in every world there's always like the spiritual person, you know what I mean? I just find it a little,
but like monkeys don't have that, and neither do spiders and that. Like it's only humans.
Yeah, and like clearly it's some part of human nature, but I don't think we've ever really like, at least I've never heard anything. There might be someone who knows, but like I've never seen anything that like explains like this is why we're inclined to believe these things and feel this. I don't know.
I think there's like a theory, the only reason why the human race exists in a scale that it does, like more than 100 individuals in a group, is because we can believe stuff we make up, like religions and, I shouldn't get into that, but...
I get what you're getting.
What
like,
do you mean?
Like shared myths.
We're the only animal that can think abstract and... you know, like kind of these shared beliefs, like, you know, we believe in the law, but the law doesn't really like exist. You can't touch it or anything. So because we can make all of these abstract ideas is why we've probably been able to grow our societies more than like 100 individuals. So like through religion or through common beliefs.
But to me, that is sort of more psychology, which I find fascinating.
But that is a science. Psychology is a science.
I guess I like that bit of science then, yeah.
There you go.
But I just don't like...
We'll win you over.
Adding up. Okay, do you genuinely enjoy maths over like... Just be real with me. Maths isn't good.
It's tough.
It's how you start with science though, and you've already been won over.
I have. I've been won, and I'm already thinking about all the times I've enjoyed maths, and it's coming back to me.
Right? All right.
Just feels satisfying, doesn't it?
Give us a view.
Exactly. I think...
Do you know when you do the big... the adding, and it's an add and then an add under and the line and then it's a massive. You just feel great, and you can't. Why are you laughing?
When you do the adding, in school? Just sit about. Like, what are you actually
I did
doing?
a lot of daydreaming about Hypixel and Minecraft. Like, basically from year 8 onwards, I was daydreaming about being a YouTuber. I was pretty much daydreaming the whole way through school. And also, I did so much copying. I would always copy the people. I was always copying. Even in my, I was always copying or asking a mate for answers, and then they move you down a set, and I make new mates and get answers off them, and then move you down a set. I just struggle to be engaged.
Yeah. You ever played one of those like bridge constructor games where you got to build a bridge, and then you kind of cars coming over, like Poly Bridge and stuff like that?
I've been playing Stardew Valley, and that's a lot of adding up, getting crops and how many days they're going to be, and keeping up and that. But is that that's maths?
Yeah, there's math in that. Definitely. I think the first time we invented math was for like crop keeping in Egypt. Okay, I don't know. I'm probably making this up, but like the first tablets of written math, I think, was with like wheat and counting up how much stuff. So it was actually Stardew Valley.
Roots,
I think it was somebody complaining about like getting not enough wheat or something. Complaining about a bad merger.
Oh yeah, one of the first tablets we ever found was like a letter of complaint. That was it. Yeah.
That is ace. You like maths though?
I do. Like not actually doing it on paper. I like where it takes you. Like the story behind it is great. And I just love in games manifesting, like physics engines. Get that like real physics feeling.
Physics engines and any game that has any physics, it's all maths in it.
I've started to be a bit pessimistic about games though lately, and you scientists can. I really love games, but sometimes I'm like, maybe it's because I'm reading all these fucking miserable books about attention and that, and I'm like, are they not just like on purpose using the bit of our brain that's a bit animally to get dopamine to then really enjoy it? Like, I want to play this new Hollow Knight, but am I just going to get addicted to it?
What would you do else with your time? Go on, like you'd run around and
read a book.
Run around looking for your dopamine. I don't know. I just like it's just a task at the end of the day.
Yeah, well,
it's trivial. It's as trivial as reading a book.
A book tickles some dopamine for sure. Yeah, that's why I like them.
But I
how does all that business work?
What?
My next question: how does the brain work? Simply put, so like dopamine. Everyone's always banging on about dopamine and serotonin and all these things.
Just banging on about it.
No, really. Look around. Everyone is always banging on about dopamine. What?
Your brain needs it.
Give us a bit more.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we don't really have a biology background, so I don't feel like we're qualified to talk about this.
Yeah.
But you just seem like you know it all.
We definitely don't. I think like what we do for our job is get really, really interested and ask a lot of questions about a topic for like 2 months, make a video about it. Maybe we write the script in like 3 weeks or something like that. So we become experts in something in a very short amount of time. And by experts, I mean like we don't really know what's going on. We're talking with people who do know what's going on.
Funny? That's somewhat similar to like what we do, but it'll be very like I'll get completely obsessed with this one bit about stand-up for like a few months, or like this one bit of like I do get it. Like I totally get that. Yeah. It's just a very different sort of hyperfixation.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's about for me. Like it's not about necessarily doing the math might be tough to do or like not very fun, but you get to ask really interesting questions and learn in the process, and that's kind of what I like the most is this following your curiosity.
Also, I find with maths more and more like I hated mental maths. I'm not very good at doing it in my brain. Yeah. I just like the logic of it. Like I could do it on I use a calculator for basic shit because my brain is very
me too, man.
Yeah.
Like where I'm just like, okay, cool. The steps, the logic of it. Like I have this problem. I know the steps to get to an answer. Like
that's YouTube Studio was all maths, and I loved that a couple of years ago.
That's all statistics.
I loved that from like age like 13, 14. Like that was great.
Yeah. Oh, I love a YouTube analytics, deep dive. That's sweet.
Yeah, but I like when I'm thinking about all the things that you enjoy quite a bit, like video games, for example, are built on this math. That was kind of a point I was making earlier. But like all programming, which you also did a lot of, is it's all like how do you wrap algorithms and make them useful for an end goal. Mm-hmm. So I worked as a video game developer for a bit.
Oh really?
Yeah, for Ubisoft, working on their Assassin's Creed game.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it. Because I asked you if you did Rabbids and you said no.
Yeah.
I really wanted to have done Rabbids.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
No. I just thought it'd be a fun one to have worked on Rabbids because that's a lot. They're quite physics heavy, actually.
Yeah,
they'd be fun. Assassin's Creed doesn't feel like it has loads of physics going on.
No,
I mean obviously it's still like it's all maths at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, kind of. But I mean like that's what programming is. Just like let's solve a problem about how to make this thing go. I was like a tools programmer. It's just a small engineer in this huge 500 person project.
Oh yeah,
which is but it's like trying to make an artistic vision happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you have this intersection, I think, of art and science that I find extremely...
Do tell.
Yeah, so I think video games is a perfect example of this, right? You have engineers and visual artists working on the same project, and they have to come together and make something that works kind of using both mediums. And that's beautiful. And I also think the films that we do kind of is a similar thing. You know, like, that's why I'm so attracted to it, because there is a way where art and science meet. And I think
there's a real storytelling. Like, you're telling stories at the end of the day with your I don't think you have to be massively into science to like get them, because like I think you explain all the necessary context, like scientific context, without going into like excessive like it's a really nice balance. It's a very I really
thank you. Yeah. No,
I'm definitely going to shut them out.
I definitely come from it from like a perspective. What was that?
I said I'm definitely going to shut them out. I feel a bit bad. I haven't.
No, you're good.
I haven't watched it, but I must admit, this is not me doing research for this podcast like a good host. I just watch them. Like, this is just what I do in my spare time. So I've cheated, really.
Why do people get depressed?
It's a tough one.
You love taking topics.
We used to have the bit where like all these questions you just look at like you're like, I don't know. I don't know. Why do people get depressed? I don't know. I feel like I can only answer that from a personal perspective. I don't know.
You want to?
I don't know. I think that...
How much is science related to it then?
Well, it depends. I think like if you're saying why do people get depressed, what are the reasons for why depression is a thing? Or it's like, why are you depressed? Why am I depressed? It's like, because maybe, there's a family thing where it gets passed on, or you had traumatic events that happened to you. And like, there are things that can lead you to have depression, but what's the use of depression? I don't know if there is a use for it always,
Sure. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, bloody hell.
I mean, that's a great question. Why would evolution develop a sense of depression?
It is interesting. I was like just about to think about it, because like I sort of get like sad, like negative emotions have their purpose, right? It's like, the whole thing is to detract from.
It is, but I don't like always viewing sadness as something that I'm trying to avoid. No,
absolutely.
That's the moral of Inside Out, is we must embrace all our emotions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why you listen to Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
No, I think
absolutely you can sit and I think you like don't have to avoid sadness. I'm not saying you need to avoid sadness, but often the things that cause sadness are like,
yes,
even if you realize in a situation that it's beneficial to embrace it in that moment, often the case is that you don't want to repeat the behaviors, right? Like, you don't want to like
but I find that, like, at least in my experience, like, there's gonna be times when I'm inevitably sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like that's just the brain chemistry I've been given,
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, I can do a lot of things to try to really stop that from happening, but what I've been trying to do is just, acknowledge that and feel like that's
absolutely
okay, be okay with that. I'm not going to be happy all the time.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. I think it's very healthy, in fact. I think. I'm not a professional either, but sounds it. Sounds to me.
Yeah, but I do think it's important to, this like mental health stuff that I really love your guys' podcast, because I feel like you're very vulnerable in a way that's inspiring to me.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks, man.
Very nice.
But you. Maybe science isn't that bad. The huge compliment.
He's freaking charming scientist. Speaking of charming scientists, I'm not going in order here, but this is something that it came up. This was written down. It's written for the Patreon, but I just want to ask it now, because you've led me there. You wrote a note. We asked you for like some topics that you thought were really interesting. You wrote "flirting with scientists?" ? I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Please, while we're here, can you just what do you mean?
Okay, so I think that when we do, our job involves interviewing a lot of scientists. And, and learning about the topic. And I think that process to me feels a lot like dating sometimes.
Right.
Where you'll reach out to, you're like putting yourself out there. You're reaching out to scientists and you're getting rejected, all the time. You're getting emails like, nah, I'm not interested in talking about this. Or, you'll get on a call and they'll just never show up. You're like, damn, I've just been stood up by this scientist.
Really?
So I think but the vibe that you want to come to it is like, just put yourself out there, make it like, keep on asking. And I think that's kind of where I draw the parallel.
Yeah, but I look at you two lads and you're not getting stood up for dates, are you? Come on, gents.
With scientists? Yeah, absolutely.
With scientists, sure, but in the dating world.
Would you date another scientist, or would that be too much? Would that stress you out?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. I don't think
because they're always playing devil's advocate too much.
What if they were smarter than you? Like, they're better at science.
That'd be
you're
good,
having
though.
a problem and you go,
no, but there are a lot of people that are smarter than me.
but could you date them? Some people like some people have an issue with that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but I think some
No,
people
but I
do.
really want. I don't know. I feel like you look for relationships where people challenge you, right?
I would love to date someone smarter than me. So I haven't so far.
You want to say this line?
Yeah.
Sorry. Just
No,
is that.
I don't know.
Do you think phones and social media make us worse, genuinely?
I'm personally, I really despise short form content for myself. Like I can't. I have YouTube on my phone, but I don't have the app because it doesn't let you get rid of shorts. So I have like just the browser, and then I have an extension that has gotten rid of the shorts functionality.
What's this? A phone spine story?
Ooh, yes, this is a little separate, but related to phones. Yeah, I did this project about how you can use somebody's phone, just their phone number, to spy on them and to intercept their text messages.
That's a bit.
And to
What are you doing, mate?
see where they're going on.
That's mad.
Henry.
Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting story where the cell phone network started out with like you would basically have it would when you're trying to route a phone call.
Yeah.
Phones have to actually know, well, where's my phone call going to? It's going from me to you, but
Yeah.
you know, it's just going over some wires and stuff. Actually, back in the day, you know, we're all hardwired.
Yeah, of course.
But then it became a point where it's like, how do you send the signaling information, which is how do I route my phone call?
Yeah.
Which sounds kind of boring, but ultimately it gets to a point where they would actually do this over the air. So what that means is like it would actually send voice tones from this phone to this phone over the signal to like establish this connection. And back in the day, there was this thing called phone phreaking, where people would play noises into their phone, which could manipulate those signals to like get them free phone calls or to like route their phone to somewhere it wasn't meant to go.
Oh, interesting. Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because this is at this point it's analog, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Or Yeah, analog is. I always get that word wrong. Yeah, but it's the point where it's like it's you using
It's
noise.
old.
Yeah, and then it becomes digital. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah. Okay.
Then they introduced this digital phone line, which is like, okay, we're sending commands over this
Yeah.
phone network. And this is where it gets interesting because this same network that was invented in the 80s is still used today to route phone information.
Okay.
So what we did, I found this team of German hackers, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Like a German security research team. It was this whole complicated thing where I had to go through, you know, like a security journalist. Then they were like, "This is off the record. We're going to put you in touch with this German team." And I'm
Fucking hell, right.
It's on the record now.
yeah, well, I won't expose my sources.
You didn't say who it was.
yeah. But then,
Tell us after.
yeah. So do you guys know Linus Tech Tips?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ended up. I was living in Vancouver at the time, and I reached out to him like, would you be comfortable if we tried to hack your phone?
Cool.
Yeah, so we used this and this team in Germany and in Luxembourg who were like part of this, you know, phone. They had got a code to access this phone routing system.
Right.
We were able to use it to pretend to be a telecom giant. So like to pretend to be, I don't know what you guys have.
We have like
Yeah.
EE02, sure. Like,
Yeah, so we'd have like, I'd pretend to be O2 or whatever, and then
Right.
intercept the phone call and say, hey, or intercept the message, say, hey, I'm going to pretend that, you know, your phone, Linus's phone, you know, is under my umbrella, and therefore I can like intercept the messages and stuff. Yeah.
Wow,
So,
okay.
So we ended up doing that. For
Did you hack his
quite a bit.
phone?
Yeah, yeah.
Could you get onto like iMessage and stuff, or just phone?
Well, so what was interesting was we can only
Can't get onto Discord, right?
we could only intercept the stuff that
SMS,
was going over the phone network, but it ended up being like a lot of information is shared. You can like triangulate where people are using that. So this-
Really?
Wow.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So when you say the phone network, is this including data, so 5G, 4G? Like, are you getting that, or is it just
No.
your SMS and phone call?
Yeah, so what you can use it for is
Yeah.
you can track people, but that's using what cell phone towers are you connected to, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god, they do that in fucking Watch Dogs, and I always wondered if
Exactly.
that was real.
Yeah. It is
reason
real.
being, very quick story. I did a video recently where I put out a number, like a temporary one, on. I took out my old phone, I put a different SIM in it, and I put the number on social media and just took calls all day and just to see what would happen. But I had this little fucking in the back of my head. I'm like, fucking Watch Dogs. They triangulate people through their fucking cell towers.
Yeah.
Could this happen?
Yeah. No,
Which is terrifying that it could have done.
Yeah,
I realize it's very difficult to do.
no, there's this story of a princess from Dubai who's trying to escape kind of the clutches of her father, who's like been
Right.
keeping her. It's a crazy story, but she gets
Is it
onto
true
a
or
boat.
fictional?
And what's that?
Okay.
It's a real story. Like this is so she's on a boat trying to escape, and they track her using this method,
Fucking hell.
using the SS7 network
Jesus, man.
to find her location. So yeah, you can do that. You can also intercept text messages, right?
Yeah.
And reroute phone calls and that
Crazy
sort of
that stuff is not encrypted though, like a text message, you know?
Yeah. So that's why it's like two-factor authentication. That was one of the points we made in the video was, you know, you can't really rely on that if it's pretty easy for me to pretend to be you.
Yeah, well, that two-factor via text I've always been warned against for that reason, because it's so easy to intercept.
Exactly.
I had a bit when I was 16 where like my closest mates, I made them like put a little character before when they texted me for a few months and I was getting like doxed and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I knew it was them because I was like, I had mates that were getting fake texts pretending to be like their girlfriends and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, that was like actually.
You can spoof phone numbers quite easily. But that's great. The code to get the access of a major provider is crazy.
Yeah, so it started.
Those are out in public hands. Like surely, like that's what gets me.
Not that hard to get, because you think about it. Back in the 80s when they were establishing this, it was a very small number of carriers. You know, like each country would have a handful maybe, and so there was a network of maybe 40. I forget the exact number, but like a small number to start, and it was called the walled garden approach. So it was like very hard to get into this garden, but when you're in, you're totally free. So it's like they would only give it to the the big telecom giants. But nowadays there are thousands of these companies because they need to be doing all these modern stuff that still happens on the network, like stuff like you're sending a lot of food delivery notifications. You might get access to the network in this way. So it ends up being that there are a lot more of these access points that are available and that could be bought for relatively low prices.
Bought, I assume, like leaks out of the companies, right?
Yeah, leaks, or somebody at the company sells. That's kind of how we ended up. Well, we ended up doing it through a more legitimate route, working with the guy who he runs the Luxembourg.
So you worked with a load of hackers?
Yeah, we did for this video. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
White hat hackers.
What's that? Good guys.
They're good guys.
Yeah. So these are the good guys.
Can we? I'm enjoying this, but I'd really like to know about aliens because that's our next topic.
Please, yeah.
What?
That was good.
Well, I'd like to know a lot more about aliens and time. These are the ones I like to come back to. I'd like to come back to time.
Hard one. You could see that we were waffling with this whole
no,
special relativity.
Simply put, gents, aliens.
Let's start with the aliens. Yeah,
I'm a big believer that like it's probably like it happens. If you look at how many stars we have in our galaxy, I think it's like 100 billion stars just here in
just in the
Milky Way.
Galaxy, right?
Yeah,
and how many
then
galaxies?
I think NASA's
They'd be
saying
smarter than us.
Interesting. I don't know. I think.
Do you think they just come in killers like how mean people like stand on bugs?
they could.
I do think that's an interesting take. Yeah, first, do they exist? I think for sure. I think like even within our own solar system, we've had times where we've thought that we've found.
This is something I was going to ask about. Is like we've had things come back from Mars and we're like, there's bacteria on this, and we're like, not sure whether it came from our atmosphere or not. Like, did we ever get a conclusion on that?
We never had like actual life confirmation, but we have had patterns of stuff that might have been life.
Yeah,
that like we don't really know.
Yeah, so
I was thinking Area 51, there's aliens. Because apparently there was some satellite or something that someone saw the other year that was moving funny. I've had loads of people be like, aliens are real because this video I saw, and I'm like, all right. But like, do you actually think there is?
Yeah, I mean, to what we have found that looks kind of organic, like even this year in March, Curiosity, like the rover on Mars, found these like chains of, I think it was a fat, like it looks kind of like an organic cell. And they were
like
saying,
protein.
Yeah, but all these things that we have found, there was that in just this year, and then there's one in the 90s, I think, that was kind of similar. It was like looking like an organic molecule, and you're like, oh, is this a sign of organic life?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm thinking, talking aliens, I'm not thinking a bit of smush, I'm thinking
I'm with you.
Proper being that's like...
I think the argument here being, though, that if there is a bit of smush...
You could imagine
that then it progresses. Because like that's...
But that's in like 100 million years.
Yeah, but that's evolution, right?
But even within our... I guess my point is...
I'm on about in our lifetime, is there some being?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is what everyone's saying, right? It's like... If there's signs that other planets, at whatever stage, have potentially organic life, then it is only then probable that somewhere out there, but given just the vastness of the universe, that something has something to our level, more advanced potentially. I mean, like,
but isn't it? Because I heard in science, it's just so mad that the only reason we can exist is because the sun's this far away, and even if the sun was like a little bit closer, we'd all be fucked.
Yeah, but it also it's like
it's a crazy coincidence.
But that's not a coincidence when you think about it. It's like the only way we could be saying this is if we were in that space. Do you know what I mean?
Like, no, I don't. What do you mean?
Okay, so we're
in about the simulation as well or something.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit like, but like we're in the perfect spot, right?
Yeah.
To support life. If we were closer or if we were further apart, no life would be supported, and we wouldn't be here to ask that question. So when you say it's a coincidence, I don't think it's a coincidence. It's a certainty that if we're asking this question, that we are in that space.
Yep.
What
I see what like it's not a coincidence, right? It's like the only reason we're
This is
able
just the
to
way it is.
No.
well, the only reason we exist is because that's happened. And I get what you're saying, but like,
But if it was even
yeah.
a centimetre off, everything would be different.
Not,
Well,
not a centimeter.
A bit bigger than that then.
Yeah.
a few miles.
But I guess
it's
it's
big.
But I guess it's kind of like, it's a thing where it's like, because it's like survivorship bias as an idea, you know, where it's like, maybe I don't want to get into
Oh, I have to ask,
explaining
what do you think
survivorship
happens
bias.
when we die?
That's a good question.
Oof. That's tough.
Oh, you just ask. Oh, did you do the what happens when we die question? That's usually a
I forgot
Patreon
to
one.
ask it. I just asked
We
it
ask
now.
every guest.
Oh, every guest, you'd be shocked at them. But I feel like usually we're asking YouTubers. And
What's
it's-
what's
You guys are YouTubers.
we are YouTube. What's been the
no,
most,
sorry, but I mean, you're also fucking scientists. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have more credits than Will and E, is all I'm saying.
No,
We ask
We're
Willie,
normalised for it.
Memulus. Is that it? So
Yeah,
far?
but it's starting.
But it's a new thing. We ask everyone.
what's been your favorite answer?
George genuinely believed in reincarnation, which I found interesting because I didn't. You know, Will just says, "Oh, I think that's it, lights out," and I was like, "You know what? Fair enough." Like, I think in the modern world, a lot of people feel that way. I wasn't shocked to hear that in a way that I don't know many people that believe in reincarnation. So I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, he was solid about it.
he really like was quite certain." He was like, "Yeah, I just think that's what happens." I
What
really
do you guys
liked it.
think is true, and then what do you believe? Because he's us.
What do we like for death or for life?
Yeah, after you die.
Yeah, I don't. We haven't had any evidence, so it's like hard to say really. Like, which is a boring answer.
Good science answer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Uninteresting.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think
what do you feel?
it's kind of like we have the same sort of debate with whether there's like free will or not, because it's all like flesh and neurons in your brain. There's no like concept that really builds free will or like a
What?
consciousness. Like the brain is just like a sack of meat, essentially.
Yeah, there's an argument that like, the argument was basically that if you took
You don't like that?
identical minds,
my head is a sack of meat. No, obviously not.
Yeah.
Great.
But a beautifully engineered like sack of meat you won't get anywhere else, you know? It's-
the argument is sort of like
No, it's my
because
brain.
brains are the way they are, and every
they
brain
meat.
is,
A brain's a meat.
is it meat?
I mean, it's
I
like,
suppose it is meat. Yeah, because you can't eat it. Yeah, it's meat.
Don't say that.
But the idea is essentially that if you take a brain, right? If you took two identical brains and you put them in the exact same scenario, and they're identical brains, so they have the same memories, they've been through everything the same, would they make the same decision? And the answer is likely yes, right? And therefore, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, then is free will really a thing, or is everyone just a product of their exact engineering experience?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's like what exactly is freedom? And it's like I think in effect you have free will because in effect you feel as if you're making your decisions, but like
that's exactly
I
it,
think
right?
I think because of you, the way you inform those decisions are based off of things that you like mostly can't control.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's very or like in any instance, right? It's like okay, well, you know, the past has already happened, and all like this is where I'm getting quite like deep into it. But like the past is like something that has happened, right? But like there's no tangibility to the past other than what you remember, right?
Yeah.
Your memories of the past are the reality that you believe,
And they change.
and they change all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So the past is entirely like malleable.
Rose tinted.
No, sure, but like it's malleable to whatever you wish to believe, right? In a way, like you can't force yourself to believe things, but you know, my point being that like, is there free will, or is your brain like a computer and it has all these past experiences and past decisions of which in the moment it's making the decision it has no control over? These things have happened and cannot be changed, or at least what it believes has happened can't. You know,
What do you think?
About free will or death?
Yeah, but this kind of question you're asking here.
free will. I think it essentially is in effect free will, right? Like in effect to what my experience is.
That there's no difference.
I'm making decision. But like I think on like a fundamental level as to how it actually functions,
Yeah.
I get the impression that like this is just a computer, and given all the inputs that it has, it releases the outputs that it does.
But it's interesting that like even though that might be the case, no one's really living life like they act like they don't have free will. Like
Exactly.
whatever it is, like we're all under this illusion or whatever it is. It's like, you know, we act as if we have free will, which is the beautiful thing that our mind, you know, pushes this idea of independence and sort of being free.
And it is in a way. It's like because it is an effect, right? Like that's how it feels. It feels like you're making your own choices, but I think like you actually.
So death and free will are linked because there's no like concrete evidence for either.
No, what I was kind of like tying that into is
we
like,
got a
we
little
don't really
distracted.
know if free will exists or not, but everyone pretty much lives as if it does.
And
you know,
death is we
it's
don't.
kind
we
of
don't-
wing.
know what
wing with
happens
it.
after.
Yeah, how does that relate?
Yeah, and I'm like, we know, the same way we don't really know what's happening after death, but you just kind of like, you got to live with that, and you just like live life,
Yeah.
not knowing about free will or death. But like,
I really
you don't want that to
I like
limit
the
you.
idea that it is all over. I think that can be a freeing thing. Like I like to think that, like I think there's a Stoic principle that like you think about how you're gonna die and that it's all gonna be over, and that makes sure that you make better decisions or live to the fullest while you're alive.
Yeah, when people say like when you're on your deathbed, we'll be looking back, thinking about
I think
this
about
or
that
that.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to remind myself that I'm gonna die. And that it's all gonna be over. Because then it feels it's this ephemeral, beautiful thing that we're living in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in sort of a moment in time.
Yeah.
And to add to, I think, I don't know what I believe, but I think to add to that one, the one that interests me about that is that either end is infinite, right?
Yeah.
Like either end, but the before life and afterlife is like entirely infinite. So this is the only special bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do
This
you
bit.
mean?
Well,
It's mad that the world will go on when we die.
Yes.
yeah. My thing is that
But that really, your feeling about that really changes when you have family or kids.
Mm.
Like that, you really get
guess
a
it does,
stronger
right?
sense of, the world's going on after I die. That's
Yeah, because it doesn't really feel like that.
no,
You know what I mean?
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
it's when you have things you care about that might persist.
It was
past-
mad. I thought about this recently. How like I'll die and like you'll be really sad, but like you still have to get out a second channel video.
we
Like,
we
mine
talk,
will be
we
like-
talk about that too.
Oh yeah, but I need to get this. I was like,
I'll probably make it about you as well. Probably help me out.
no, but I was like, that is
content,
mad
man.
that like
Yeah.
I'll be, but like everything that's certain in the like when it won't stop. You know what I mean? We'll all keep going on.
My whole thing was
Is that comforting?
I don't know. I find all of it quite. I think disturbing and unsettling is a word I find. I just find it.
But it's the idea that you're just this.
I really like
Here for a little
the other week.
Yeah.
I had like a bit of a needle in my eye, and I was just like, "Oh Jesus!" You know what I mean? Like this cannot. Just because as a young person, you never like. You know how people say when they're in the 50s, like you start aching, and when you're 70, like you just can't move like you used to. I was like, "Oh, one day I actually will be that age, and I'll be aching and stuff." And I think by the point I'll get to 80 or 90, I like want to rest forever. Like that'll be. I've been thinking about that more. Like that'll be really reframing it as resting forever, not nothing happening. But like, I think it's the idea of passing away young is one that I think haunts me much more than the idea of passing away.
That's fair. But yeah, I think like the idea that society will go on and that like there'll still be this beautiful human thing that's happening
Yeah.
when I'm gone is, I think, a little like can be affirming. It's like, yeah, I might be gone, but it's still happening, And that could, yeah.
So much had to happen for you to be alive here in like these, 80, 90 years in chemistry, like, and the earth had to be this close to the sun and everything had to happen. And now you're here with, life and sun and cheeseburgers, and like, it would be such a waste not to, enjoy it.
Tell us more about that.
yeah.
What do you mean so much? Like, because does that not mean though? Like, what about how the Earth isn't a coincidence? It's just this is how it is. Like, isn't how we are just how it is? Like, did so much have to happen?
there-
Was this
there
always
would have been-
certain,
That's what I'm
innit?
thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, innit?
No, like, yeah, I think if you think about all the crazy things that had to happen,
For us to be here. Yeah.
it is crazy. But then I also think those are the only things that had to, like,
It's true, but like how many planets in how many different solar systems, got so close and then like a meteor hit or it all went to shit and, no one was there ever.
Do you believe in luck?
Oh,
Guys, we're going to answer this question over on our Patreon in just a
Is that how
second.
you're going to do it?
Because we are in this chat right now. I've got a lot more questions for you.
All right.
Pause, simmer, think on it.
Well, hopefully.
But this is beautiful.
I'm very excited for this because you guys might be the only people that we can ask this and you could actually give us an answer that isn't just like, yeah, all right. How is the worm doing? I asked you guys to give me some, to read up on worms a little bit because I figured you'd be capable.
okay, well, the first step is always
First, locate the worm.
locating the worm.
Locating the
okay.
worm. This
Was
does
that-
take a minute.
Is that the one?
Takes a minute.
I see it. It looks like a leaf.
I'd be a little tough.
Is that the one?
No, that is a leaf.
Can I give it a rotate?
Can you shake it?
No.
I don't want.
Well, you want that, you get
I don't know
worm.
about how it comes to. I don't know how like worms fall under animal rights, but I feel like shaking them is probably.
It's an insect, isn't it? So
So what I learned is that earthworms like to go like 2 meters underground, depending on the temperature. You don't have a ton of distance here for him to dive.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Is that bad of us?
You said you only keep your worms contained for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So this is true. We only keep them for a certain period before we let them go.
Yeah. So I don't know.
we decided torturing worms.
can't. Is that it? No.
I spotted it earlier. Do you want me to have a little
Yeah.
look? Because it wasn't too long ago. It is.
Personally,
What's
I'm
all the
not
green
too
and red
bothered about
stuff?
the
I have
worm.
no clue. It's just Mirren. Do you know?
It's sand, so you can
Oh,
see
it's
them making their little trails.
Oh wow.
I just
Oh,
saw
really?
him. He went down here. Like he was running away right as I. Oh, there you are. There's a little bit of him there.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
But there.
Is it one guy or one?
There are several.
Yeah. Oh, that's a segue. Guy,
Yeah,
girl.
as we know,
They.
it's not a guy or a girl.
Oh, there's definitely two.
Or
I've
it's
seen one of
non-binary.
them-
It's both. It has both organs.
Really?
Yeah, ovaries and balls. I think
Two sets of each.
2 sets of each. Oh,
That's
Yeah.
that is, and I haven't said this in a while, but that is aura.
What, being intersex?
Hermaphroditic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
yeah. So they, in effect, can have sex with themselves. Some worms.
Do they?
Yeah, tapeworms especially because they're lonely. In your gut, they can reproduce on their own. So
Sure.
they can. Yeah.
And you get tapeworms from eating pork. Anyway, that was what Sean Locke taught me. He wasn't a scientist, he was a comedian, but he did make that clear.
Do you feel like you learned something about worms? Or do you want more?
I actually didn't know that they were. Yeah,
Do you have
I
more
didn't know
worm
they were
facts
insects.
ready to go?
Yeah, because I always
You don't
thought
know.
if you cut a worm in half that it would make 2 smaller worms.
That is, I heard that was a myth.
It is a myth. Tends to be only the head survives.
Oh,
And then it'll have it'll grow a little bit more of a tail. But yeah, so no, that's a little depressing worm fact.
But it still survives. Half a chop.
yeah, you could chop it and it'll keep going.
Okay.
Well, once.
yeah, like what? It doesn't make 2, because that was the thing. It was always they made 2 worms. Like a new worm is
Yeah.
essentially born, which is like which admittedly, when you think about it, is insane, right? Because that's
it
like,
is.
that is reproduction at that point. Like that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
like it doesn't actually really make sense when you think about it. But they tell you from when you're a kid, so you sort of accept it.
Yeah, yeah.
And a chicken, if you chop off its head, it keeps running.
That can happen
For a bit.
It's true, but not for long.
There was that headless one. Remember? Do you remember there was a story about a guy who had a headless chicken? He used it as a bit of a circus thing, and what he'd done is he tried to cut a chicken's head off, and he'd done it at such an angle that he'd accidentally left part of the brain, like a very small amount, but enough that it kept it alive. It was enough to keep its heart beating and its lungs going and things like that.
It was like feeding it water and like.
He would like
Would it
drop
drop?
water down his gullet. Yeah.
God, that's horrible.
But it lived for not long, but like
A lot longer than you'd think, right?
like a lot, like,
Yeah.
weeks into maybe months even. Like
Jesus,
it was a
really?
while.
Well, do you ever hear of this guy Phineas Gage? I think is his name. But he was like a railroad worker, and through some accident, like a spike went up through his eye and chopped off a part of his brain, basically, like cut it off and destroyed it. And then after that, he had a very different person. He survived, but afterwards, he had a very different personality.
Mm.
And then,
Really?
and then this is kind of where we started learning about different parts of the brain maybe controlled different aspects of personality. And then there was this whole lobotomization thing going on at the turn of the century. Where you'd address so-called mental problems by lobotomizing.
Yeah, this is my sort of argument with the free will thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, this guy's will has been forcefully changed by something, and it's like, okay, well, then is he free? Has he been free to make it the entire time, or has it just been?
I think that scares me
nature of the way
more
it
than
works.
dying is the idea of like
Yes.
getting a. It's like, do you know when I watch zombie movies, the thing that always scares me there's this bit in The Last of Us where one of the main people early on like gets turned into a zombie. That's the idea of like imagining what my brain would feel like as I turn into a zombie. That freaks me out more than anything, like losing my conscience.
Yeah.
Well,
Poor Tess.
We need to move over to the Patreon, or I will go. The brain consciousness thing is like a real.
All right, guys,
Expectation of mine in a minute.
we've got a lot more to get through. We'll see you over on the $7, by the way. Patreon.